What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Hey, I am back here with another stream. Let's see here. Alright, so back with another stream for you guys. I decided to add a little music into the background. If it sounds like crap, just be like, yo, get rid of that, and I'll do something. But I have Connor Shanahan versus Raymund Baroy in a GOP versus Democrat matchup. This tournament is ran by Roman Sandow. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But these two are battling off. I'm going to go ahead and enter in the code. We'll get the match started. And then I'll kind of explain how this tournament goes from there. So, into the code. I'll be playing as Independent Bernie. Hopefully neither one of them will be playing anything close to it. They shouldn't be. Okay, so it looks like we are still waiting for Connor to enter in with Jefferson. Oh, there he is. So real quick, how this tournament is that you have 14 matches, 2 matches per tier. It's all a Democrat versus a Republican. And then you combine the total amount of electoral votes between the two matches, and that's who wins the tier. Since there's 7 tiers, you win 4 tiers, you win the whole thing. So everybody's assigned just one match, one tier, and they play it out. So these two are playing one half of their tier. I don't have the full list in front of me, unfortunately, but um, whoever wins this definitely helps out whether the Republican or the Democratic side on winning that particular tier. So just to kind of go through who's who. Again, Connor is playing as Jefferson. Jefferson's a great candidate. Huge agriculture bonus, good Old South bonus, good swing bonus, 40% town and gown bonus. That's pretty big. He's a pretty versatile all around candidate. The only problem is that he has a massive 30% African American penalty. But outside of that, I mean, even his national groups down here are really, really good. So, very versatile on where you can start him. Very versatile of where you can go towards the end game. Um, Only thing is that you're not going to be fighting for African American too much. On the flip side, we have a guy who has an amazing African American bonus in Abe Lincoln, 50%. Now that is coupled up with a 50% Old South penalty, but it kind of evens itself out. And if you can get Old South along with the AA bonus really isn't that bad. Or taking the penalty for it isn't that bad. He's got a good Latino bonus, good agriculture bonus, a great manufacturing bonus. He also has a good swing and talent gown bonus as well. And then again, you look down the list, good national group bonuses. So Abe Lincoln, another one of those candidates that are great, very versatile candidate. And unlike Jefferson, I think this is one where you can go anywhere, despite the Old South being a penalty. You could still fight for it and move that towards AA, which then really makes up for the bad penalty in the Old South. So yeah. This first turn coming in, Lincoln is going to go big conservative, while Jefferson is going to go amongst the Old South. Now you see Lincoln put a pip into Mississippi and a block into Virginia. This music is super obnoxious for me. I don't think I like that either. We'll see how this goes. So, anyways, you had a block in Virginia, move up in Mississippi. Otherwise, Again, Lincoln went up 2 in big conservative. And Connor Jefferson just went ahead and took the classic Old South route for that. If you are one of the 2 people that might be watching, say hi. I don't like talking to myself. I'd much rather be talking to somebody else. So I don't even care if it's about like how bad my music is. Just it is free music, copyrighted free. So try not to get shut down by the evil corporation that is Facebook. That's the goal. Surprisingly enough, this is a very quick turn too. I figured that Connor was just going to move up to get to go ahead and get his Old South. I figured that Raymund would finish up big conservative. That's what he does end up doing. Movement into Georgia for Jefferson. Jefferson moves to the 3rd in Louisiana. Pippin to Massachusetts for Lincoln. Maryland is to the 3rd, so is North Carolina. South Carolina entered into by Jefferson. In the 3rd, Pip, Virginia. So Abe gets the big conservative, gets him a huge 67,500 each turn, and Jefferson gets the Old South, giving him a huge 67,000 per turn there as well. Now the big difference, if you are new to the game, I don't think I'm going to have anybody that new, but if you are new to the game, big thing to look at here is that 67,000 for Old South can only be spent in the Old South states. Let me show you where those are real quick. So that $67,000 bonus can only be spent here, along with his 250,000 he gets per turn. That big conservative movement that Abe got can be spent anywhere he wants it to. Now, Abe did kind of tip his hat there just a bit by going into Massachusetts, but not anywhere else. If he's going Massachusetts, guesses are he is aiming and eyeing this town and gown. For good reasons, too, since Jefferson has a 40% town and gown bonus. So, real no pressure on the Old South. Old South isn't going anywhere this turn. And really no path to get any other bonus set up this turn. Jefferson can go and try to block town and gown, or he could go into swing from here. He does have a good swing bonus. And he's going to be close to, if he does go swing through Florida and Wisconsin, or any other combination, he's going to be fairly close to getting the AA bonus, which it's going to be nice for him to have, but it's kind of a crap, again, I already said it, it's kind of a crap bonus for him. But in these games, any sort of money advantage that you can get is a good money advantage. So if he could pick up that $70,000 for AA, might as well get it. Might as well get it. I think I might just go without music. Anyways, Alabama's entered into by Jefferson. Arkansas is entered into by Jefferson. A clash in Florida. Iowa gets moved into. Mississippi gets moved into a clash in New Mexico. And Ohio gets moved into by Lincoln. A defense of Virginia, and a movement into Wisconsin by Abe. So now the question is that Massachusetts move they did earlier, was that just a block? Or was that to basically say, hey, I'm going to go here and try to draw Jefferson into trying to block him from getting town and gown? That makes that move pretty interesting. Just take a quick look at Abe's map. He has 455,000. He's set up for swing states. He's throwing a few pips into some of those old South states. Nothing that's going to take away the bonus. And there's a clash in Florida and in New Mexico. Where is Jefferson? Instead of going into Wisconsin that turn, he actually went a different route and went Iowa, New Mexico. Awkwardly enough, that hurt him too. So he's going to need another 15,000 somewhere, probably Colorado. Abe does not have the money to pick up the bonus this turn, so I suspect that he'd spread out across the swing as well. And neither does Jefferson. So neither guys have the ability to expand and to get another bonus. So let's see what they do. Nebraska entered into by Lincoln. New York entered into by Lincoln. Ohio pressured. South Carolina to the third. Wisconsin pressured. Okay. So Lincoln again just bails on swing. And right back to the town and gown movement. Interesting. Jefferson got into Wisconsin, moved up into South Carolina there. He's definitely got the money now. Let's see, 300. Well, I don't know. He would need 500,000. He might have enough. Because you have to have 300,000 for Florida, and then the other 200,000 has to come within these states. Well, I guess not, because he's already got 65 here. So he only needs 330,000. Yeah, he's got that. Easy. Never mind. Lincoln has the money to go ahead and try to get... Not listening to that, sorry. To try to get swing still. And obviously has the money to go ahead and get town and gown. So we'll see which way Lincoln decides to go. He's kind of been back and forth. So, not a fan of this music. We'll try this instead. Pressure across the Old South by Lincoln. He also moves up to the third in Massachusetts. Still pressuring. Pressure. Pressure in Nebraska now. Pressure in New York now. But getting to the third in all those states will give Lincoln town and gown. There it is. 97,000. It's going to help him out some. Now, Jefferson, instead of going ahead and getting his swing money, he said, yeah, I'll wait for a bit. He goes into Arizona and goes into pressure Nebraska and New York. I suspect that town and gown money will get spread out across Arizona, Iowa, and New Hampshire to have the added pressure in those swing states. I really do suspect that swing states will get picked up this turn by Jefferson. Definitely a lively crowd watching the bunch. That's for sure. Thanks for all. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all don't have to comment. I'll talk to myself. It's fine. Now, I was playing Been playing some practice matches with, Connor and some others. I don't know who's been here for very long. I've been in the lounge for a couple years now. I can remember when it was basically whoever won the Old South won the match. And I think in my last few matches, I think I did a match with Dustin, and Old South was, I think it was one of the last ones to get locked in. I don't know. Here's the turn. Pressure in Arizona, as expected. Block in DC. Movement into Delaware. Move to the third in Georgia by Jefferson. Movement into Illinois. Defense of Louisiana. Movement into Michigan by Abe. Jefferson moves to the third in Mississippi. Small defense of Nebraska. Movement into New Hampshire. And a big flip in New York. Jeez. Didn't think that he was going to do it, obviously. Very early in the game for a movement like that. Connor took the strike early. Was able to take away Town and Gown and pick up AA out of it. Big move by Connor early. And that's kind of safe. He's only got to defend it by 1 pip to keep that safe. Movement into Alabama, up into Arizona, up into DC, Iowa to the third. There's the defense of New York, defense of South Carolina, movement into Utah. A 0 spin by Lincoln. But Jefferson does pick up Town and Gown with that huge 40%. It's a $105,000 bonus. And Connor has positioned himself very well now moving forward. 3 pip lead. You figured that Abe can go all the way up here to the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you think that Connor might defend that. Also, he's got the money to go Texas and Cali. And what looks like Jefferson might have the ability to block it, I can for sure tell you he does not. If you were just joining us, this was a pretty close contested match early. Connor put pressure into New York and within a turn flipped it about 2 turns ago, and it completely flipped the entire match on its head. They both pretended like they were going to go swing early, bailed out of it, and went towards Town and Gown. Abe got it. New York flipped, and now Abe, this is second turn now, 0 spinning. And still more defensive New York. And spreading out among the map for Jefferson. Getting into Michigan and some other places as well. I think he went to Connecticut too. So early signs and interest of getting that high tech bonus. Since that New York still, not a dime has been spent. And Abe doesn't have a single state group bonus. So everything that he has right now is all saved up pure cash. So Raymund is taking Chad's favorite approach now, and that is the savior tactic. Now, here's the question. All this money is getting saved up by Abe Lincoln. It's got to go somewhere well, maybe here. One pip into California. Pressure in Illinois. Movement into Indiana. Defense in North Carolina. Move up in a flip of New Hampshire. Move up in a flip of Ohio. One pip into Texas. Move up in a flip of Utah. Move up in a flip of Wisconsin. And there we sit. So swing state does go to Jefferson there. That's another $125,000 headed his way. So he's got $125,000 coming in from swing, another $100,000 coming in from town and gown, $70,000 coming in from AA, and $67,000 coming in from Old South. Altogether, he's got about $350,000 of state group money coming in, while Abe has been sitting on the $67,000 national group where he can spend anywhere. I think it's interesting that Abe went just one pip into both of these. He didn't do the 2 pip, so he has money still left on hand to bail out of this or to attack. We mentioned earlier $350,000 coming in for pure state group bonuses, meaning there's not the money there to double pip in either one of these. If you're Jefferson, it might look like there is, but there is not. So, did he just do that to get the foothold in both of these states? Will he actually move up and finish and complete the process and get his oil and agriculture and maybe go up in, like, let's say New Mexico to get Latino as well? Is he about to take Florida off the market prior to doing so? I mean, he could take New York by 1. That would be extremely risky. That could be defended by just pure state group bonus money alone. I don't see that really becoming a thing. He does have plenty of pressure throughout the Old South. He could flip that scenario. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Defense of Arizona, 2 pips into California, 3 pip lead in Illinois, moves up into Indiana, flip of Massachusetts, flip into the 3rd in Michigan, movement into Nevada. There's a 1 pip defense into New York, I was saying. Movement into Pennsylvania to the 3rd in Texas, and Washington gets entered into. So some state bonuses now coming Lincoln's way. He gets Latino, oil and gas, agriculture, manufacturing. Jefferson does pick up another $100,000 plus bonus with high tech, though. What's up, Mr. Donnelly? So finally, some extra income finally coming in for Lincoln. That move did put a little bit of a strain on him as far as cash goes, but he can now start catching back up. I think Florida is going to be out of the market soon. Florida really doesn't help either one of these guys at this point for anything. But it's a great state to have, especially if you're in Abe's position and kind of strapped for electoral votes. Just to give you kind of a look on each map, you figured that Illinois is going to be shut off fairly quickly. Maybe some pressure in Pennsylvania. Those are really the only things that Abe will need to defend. Well, Illinois is really the only one that he needs to defend. As of right now, all of his other bonuses are pretty well safe. And Lincoln has pressure throughout the board. So he could start attacking on some of these other bonuses that Connor has. He can attack high tech through Virginia, Maryland, Michigan, Utah, Massachusetts. He could attack the swing states through Ohio and Wisconsin and Arizona, and he's got places to attack. The issue is that Connor does have a good deal of money saved up. Now, a lot of money of Connor's was all this defense, so it slowed the expansion some, but not enough. So go ahead and end my turn. We're going to see what happens. Marty asked me a question. Better tennis player, Roger or Serena? I'm going to say Roger. Colorado gets entered into. Connecticut gets pressured. Florida to the third. Defense in Illinois. Pressure in Iowa now. Kentucky gets entered into. Louisiana gets locked. Michigan defense. Move up into New Mexico. Move up into Oregon. Clash. Pressure into the third in Pennsylvania. And pressure into Washington. So just a look and see the bonus situation here. Not too much money spent by Lincoln. A larger amount of money spent by Connor. Connor now, though, is over that 270 mark with 1.11 million in the bank. But very little pressure. Sorry, wrong person. Very little pressure across states that matter right now, with Illinois being the big one. Now, good job here for Lincoln not overreacting like I personally would have, locking it out. But I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait around too much. We saw how quickly New York flipped. Don't want to make the same mistake. Lincoln, on the other hand, has pressured everywhere. So Connor can lose a lot if he's not careful and doesn't defend properly. I think moving up into Florida, while he didn't need it, it protected at least swing from getting taken away. But that high-tech money could definitely be in play. Marty says, does anyone know who the other half of this match up is? This is Dem versus Republic tournament. Yes. So the other half of this, let me check. Let me see if I can find it for you. The other half of this is Gary for the Democrats and Amir for the Republicans. So Connor here is desperately trying to build a good lead for the Democrats. Um, this tournament does, encourage you to run up the score if you can on your opponent. So you're not going to see Connor try to get out of this quickly or easily. I think that's pretty well. I mean, neither one of these guys are in a hurry to lock out states. We're in turn 12. The only state that's been locked so far is Louisiana. And so you're going to see them drag this on quite a bit. Lincoln might try to end this a little sooner than Connor will if he gets into a position where he doesn't feel like he can fight back anymore. But as of right now, the way that Lincoln is playing, I think he still think he has a really, really good chance at keeping this game close and potentially even winning it because he's not trying to lock anything out yet. Connecticut goes to the 4th, Delaware to the 4th, Massachusetts defense all the way. Good no spin there by Lincoln. Maryland defended, Michigan flips and locks. New Mexico flips all the way to the 7th. Oregon goes to the 4th. Utah flips. Virginia gets locked. No spin there by Lincoln either. So some decent flips there. Lincoln does pick up export. He does not take away high tech though. And you can kind of see that was part of his strategy, was attacking some of those high tech states. But didn't attack them all. The big one there was Michigan that he tried taking away. And he did get it. And he was able to pick up export from it. And by flipping Michigan, that keeps the manufacturing bonus safe for him no matter what happens in Illinois. Now, I think he will need to go ahead and probably lock Colorado. If you're going a cheap route, lock Colorado just to keep hold of your Latino bonus. But yeah, take a quick look. He missed taking high tech away by like 50 cents. So close. Okay, Connor, we're going to need 488 votes to stand a chance. Well, I think he's trying to get him there. I think if I heard correctly, there's already been 2 tiers decided based on forfeits. I'm not sure which. I know one of them was mine. James bowed out, so that gave the Republicans the E tier. I'm not sure about the other one. I think Fanis battled out of F, giving that to the Republicans as well. So out of the 5, the Democrats need to win 4. So Connor's really going to want to run up the score if he can here. Blocking states shortens that time frame. But yeah, like Marty said, Connor's got to really run up the score and really put the pressure on Amir to do a better job against Gary in that second match. All right. Movement in the flip into Delaware. Hawaii gets entered into. Clash in Idaho. So it looks like Connor might have been going for a ballot. Or just getting himself spread out. I think we're a little close for a ballot. Lock in Maryland. And entering into some of these other states as well. I think he was just trying to get everywhere he could. Curious to see if he locks out New York here to start building up some of those EVs that are locked in. He's locked in a lot right now, so I think he was going for a ballot. But that's not going to happen with those clashes. He didn't lock out New York. He's going to lock out Utah, though. Very low spin here, too, by Raymond and Abe Lincoln. So you see the massive jump into electoral votes, bringing them all the way up to 342, but the clash in Idaho will keep anything from changing, and no bonuses change as well. So we are everywhere for Connor. No pressure in Cali or Texas yet, but everywhere else, he's there. For Lincoln, he needs to get into quite a few of these states, but with that last turn, he just took a massive lead in the money count. The downside is he's shy of about 78 votes. So I suspect he's going to go ahead and move into some of these states, especially the ones up here like North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Missouri, Minnesota would be a good one, Oklahoma. I know it's only 18,000. I wouldn't put a pip here. Save your 18,000. You don't have a bonus there. You just wouldn't do it. But get into New Jersey, get into some of these northern states as well, just to kind of get yourself nice and spread out and ready for the ballot. I suspect Connor's just going to lock into more of these, some more of these states, and possibly potentially go for flipping some states like Tennessee. He could flip, Nevada on him. He could flip Nebraska. He's got the town and gown money to flip here. So I suspect maybe some pre-ballot flippage from Connor as well. It was Amir versus Gary, with Amir winning. I did not know that match was already played. Roman, do you know the final score in the Amir versus Gary matchup? Amir got 333 electoral votes. Meaning, Connor needs to win 334. Pressure everywhere. Big attempt to flip Arizona. Did not go well. Connor does lock that up. A lock in Colorado. Florida flips and goes to the 6th pip. Movement into Idaho, so we will have a ballot. Pressure in Maine and Minnesota, Missouri, Montana. North Carolina is going to be locked. Pressure in North Dakota and New Jersey. There's Oklahoma pressure. Flip of Pennsylvania. Pressure in Rhode Island and South Dakota. Vermont, Washington is locked. Pressure into West Virginia and in Wyoming to finish out this turn. And Raymund just brought this match much, much closer. And possibly just won the match for the Republicans with that move. He didn't want to risk trying to win it on the ballot. He wanted to win it now. So 334 electoral votes needed for the Democrats to win this one. If they don't, they fall behind 3-0 to the Republicans. So you're looking at what? 37 votes that need to flip in favor of the Democrats. There's very few places that he can go. Now, he does have the AA bonus. That can help out in Tennessee. That's 11. Illinois would be risky. He's got swinging high tech, but that's close to being closed out. That would be risky, but ballot turn, you need electoral votes. It's worth taking the shot. Bad news for Connor is he's got all these little 1-pip bleeds throughout the map that he's going to have to defend. And Lincoln has oil to attack, South Dakota, Wyoming, Alaska. He's got agriculture to attack, Minnesota. So he can attack, and this is a big one, he can attack New Jersey with his Latino money. So picking up an extra 37, I think I said, is going to be tough if you're Connor. Now remember, he needs 37. If you're just joining us, he needs 37 to beat Amir's score of 333 in the match before this. $334 is the goal. He does have about $300,000 worth of money saved up over Abe Lincoln, but a lot of that money is going to be Old South money. A lot of that money is going to be AA money. A lot of that money is going to be high tech money, which high tech can only be used here, and it's only 120,000, so we'll see. Alabama defense. Alaska flips. Arkansas flips. Florida flips. Big. That helps out a lot, but Hawaii flips. Idaho flips. Kansas defense of Minnesota. That's going to help. Missouri flips, and I think that's going to pull it out of reach. All that money spent down in Florida, you needed a big flip. You needed a big amount of EVs to get up to that 334 mark. I just don't think it's enough. He is flipping some of these other states, but then you get a big state like New Jersey that just flipped, and now Ohio flips. That's going to kind of do it. Raymund actually has a big chance at winning this game outright. See, Tennessee flips. 276, that brings it back down. 271. Raymund now flips Wyoming. Raymund not only holds on to stay above that 205 EV mark that he needed to bring the Republicans the win, he also beat Connor outright to get the win, 270 to 268. Congratulations to Raymund. Congratulations to the Republicans for getting the win. They don't win the whole thing, but they take a pretty commanding lead. I think it's now 3-0 in the tiers. There's 4 tiers, I believe, left to be had. And the Democrats have to win them all. So, congratulations again to Raymund. Good game by Connor. Connor did what he had to. This wasn't a typical game. In a typical game, I don't think you see Connor go for Florida on the ballot. But he needed something big. He needed to run up the score, try to find a way to run up the score. He couldn't do it. Pushing the ballot, the block in Idaho kind of just changed everything. But yeah. Anyways, good game for both these guys. Thank you for everybody who tuned in and watched. Thanks, Marty, for the tennis talk. And hopefully I'll be back soon with another stream. If not this, then an ATP or NHL or something else. But until then, have fun, be safe, and never stick your fingers where you wouldn't stick your face. Thanks.